toroid, yeah.
Well, a toroid is a shape.
Well, you were just, yeah, that's just the shape of the field. You didn't even work with a toroid, did you?
No, I mean, that's just the shape. I don't understand the question, I guess.
All right, I don't either, so I give up. Have you been approached, or have you agreed to be part of the CSETI program to get a congressional investigation going on all of this? Have you been approached by them?
No, not that I know of or remember.
All right. Please ask Bob. There is a gravity theory out there that says that gravity is RF waves from 1 hertz to past light. Basically, energy doesn't get destroyed, so it must all be out there, billions of waves. The Earth is an RF absorber, so on one side you are pushed to the Earth by the pressure of these RF waves. Do you think the engine you were working with was simply a wideband RF amp, then taking the signal 180 degrees out of phase, canceling any waves coming in, thus making anti-gravity?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I kind of see what he's leaning to. He's relating the gravitational waves to RF waves, and in fact, in some respects, there are some similarities here and there, but it isn't just plain RF.
Okay. A cavity resonator normally bounded by conducting surfaces in which electromagnetic energy may be stored or transmitted as oscillations whose frequency is determined by the size, shape, makeup of the cavity. Do these propulsion systems use this technology in scalar form, waveguide,
continue.
Waveguide form, or modulated FM form against or with gravity?
In waveguide form with gravity, essentially is gravity. This is along the lines of what I was saying, that this behaves very similar to a microwave system. And, we're seeing really a lot of similarities in the construction of the two, the comparison between the reactor waveguides and emitters and microwave systems themselves.
All right. What does Mr. Lazar think of Dr. Michael Wolff? He has in the past supported Mr. Lazar's claims about S4 and the sports model.
Do you remember?
Just refresh me on...
he's the gentleman from back east, I think in Connecticut or somewhere like that, who says... in fact, I think I read that he said that he was actually a medical doctor working out at S4. Isn't that right, Art?
I vaguely recall that.
Something like that, and essentially concurs with a lot of the things you have to say. But I don't think Bob has ever spoken to him or talked to him, or...
I really don't. I really don't remember his entire story, so I can't really.
And he wrote a book, but we didn't get it.
All right. Lee in Grand Junction, Colorado asks, Bob was being interviewed on a program several years ago where he described seeing a black and white photograph of an alien which had an autopsy performed on it. He said at the time all you could see was one large organ in the chest cavity. If he has seen the video, Alien Autopsy, please ask him if that's what he saw or how the two compare.
No, that isn't what I saw. I don't believe that video is authentic. I believe that's completely fabricated. In one of the briefings I had mentioned, there were two autopsy photographs of the apparent occupants of the craft. They were both cut. One was cut in a T fashion. It was a bust shot, essentially, from the middle of the chest upward. Mm-hmm. The chest was cut in a T fashion. The skin was pulled back, and apparently what was removed from the body was a single large organ, and I said that it most closely resembles a liver. Now, we're dealing with a black and white photograph, so I don't know what color it would be, but it has that almost semi-fluid appearance. There was the other portions of the other photograph had that organ cut itself, and it appeared to have many other chambers, and just from the small amount of information they provided, it seemed to have the function of several organs that we would be familiar with, but essentially evolved or grown together, however you want to look at it.
Wow.
But essentially just one large organ performing the functions of many organs that we're familiar with.
So all you saw, to be clear, were those photographs. You never saw any sort of alien being alive or dead in person.
No, not that.
No.
You know, again, this story always gets bent out of shape, too.
Well, Bob, this is why I didn't mention Dr. Michael Wolf. Dr. Michael Wolf says, well, you tell the story about walking down the hall. Wolf says he's one of the guys that was standing in that room. That's what he said.
All right. Okay, I will tell the story. Right. Do I think I saw a live alien? No. Am I even sure that those photographs were of an actual alien? No. How could I be? What we're referring to here, Art, is at one time I believe I was walking away from the hangar portion of the installation, and down this hallway that connected all the other rooms, on a door to my left, there are these 9 or 10-inch square windows on them that have the wires running through them, security windows, if you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
As I was walking down there, I glanced quickly into the room, and what I saw in a quick glance was two other gentlemen in white lab coats,
yes,
facing my way. And then there was a smaller thing, okay, with its back towards the door, looking to them. And this was at a quick glance, and walked by, and immediately, you know, everyone has jumped on it, saying, well, there was a live alien there, so on and so forth. Now, I find it much more plausible to believe that this was a dummy or something, them trying to ascertain the size of whatever creature flew in these crafts. Perhaps they were going to sit it in a seat, see where its arm placements, leg placements would be, so on and so forth. But I have, you know, there's certainly no reason for me to believe that was an actual alien living.
Or that it wasn't.
Well, or that it wasn't. However, you would think that, you know, quite possibly Barry would have said something about that, or I would have been notified.
You're passing the alien room?
Well, or it's something along those lines. I don't think that would have been left out. And, you know, quite frankly, if there were living aliens there, would we be doing a back engineering program like we were? Wouldn't we be receiving some instruction as to how these devices operated? So it's
unless they weren't the aliens that knew that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, I don't believe that was. I believe they had a little dummy there because they were sitting there looking at it like they were trying to size it up as to, is this thing the right size, or so on and so forth.
Anyway, Dr. Michael Wolf alleges that he was one of the men in the white lab coats.
All right.
That's where he fits in that story.
All right. We're going to break here at the bottom of the hour. We'll be right back.